CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. London police say no charges were laid after a group of protesters demonstrated in Old South this weekend, seemingly promoting extreme right-wing Nazi ideology. Brian Bicknell reports.
This is dashcam footage from viewer Dave, who doesn't want his last name used. Taken Sunday around noon, it appears to show a group of about 30 people dressed in dark uniforms and masks, standing in formation on the Wortley Road overpass. They're holding a banner up that reads, "Remigration Now." The term refers to a far-right concept of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation of non-white immigrants and their descendants. Viewer Dave says it has no place in London.
It was a military display of force. People have the right to protest, even those people. They can have a conversation, but presenting themselves in uniforms with masks, in black attire, with a clear message that says all people who aren't white should get out of Canada on a banner in a public space, I would say is more intimidation than conversation.
London police confirmed they were called to the incident, and the group demonstrated for about 20 minutes before leaving. No charges were laid. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
London police say they arrested a teenage suspect accused of threatening staff at a sushi restaurant with a knife. Only one suspect faces charges, but as Lauren Stallone reports, they weren't the only teen involved.
It was a regular Friday night for Plaza Sushi Masonville owner Won-Suk Chang until a group of high school girls asked if they could use the washroom.
They never come back, and then they grabbed all our belongings.
Chang says they searched through restroom supplies and stole items before leaving the premises. He says shortly after, two more girls entered requesting to use the restroom, but he refused. And that's when things took a turn for the worst.
Sometimes the high school girl hit me, and then sometimes the high school boy hit me.
Chang says there was a group of 20 students blocking the restaurant entrance.
Our customer cannot go outside, so that's the reason why I go outside.
He says the group was yelling and throwing garbage.
Beer, empty can, and they already have a beer, and then I saw the marijuana over there.
CCTV footage obtained by CTV News shows restaurant employees catching wind of the altercation and rushing to help.
We are fighting against each other, but mostly we got hit because we know they are minor.
Chang says a male student pulled a knife out of his pocket and threatened to stab him.
When a second employee intervened, the teen threw a water ball at him before fleeing the area on foot.
London police arrived on scene shortly after and were able to locate and arrest the youth.
A 16-year-old male of London who cannot be named under the provisions of the Youth Criminal Justice Act has been charged with a number of offenses.
Chang says he has sustained a number of injuries as a result of the chaos, including an injury to his jaw and a large contusion on his thigh from a heavy metal object.
This is kind of their stage.
Chang says he hopes the incident will encourage parents to teach their children right from wrong. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Closing arguments today in the case of a tow truck driver accused of killing a London man by running him over more than 3 years ago. 56-year-old Garnet Pridey suffered fatal head injuries when he was run over in a parking lot back in July 2022. The court has heard 26-year-old Abdul Kazoon was driving the tow truck at the time, but he has pleaded not guilty to dangerous driving causing death and leaving the scene. Today, the Crown argued Kazoon wasn't paying enough attention, while Kazoon's defense argued he did not know he ran over someone. A decision from the judge isn't expected until April. Police in Aylmer say they've charged a 30-year-old daycare worker accused of spanking one of the children in her care. According to police, the child was not injured and the woman has since been fired from her position.
How it played out was it was a one-to-one, the worker with the child, and the child was acting out. So the worker pushed the child down onto a cot and then spanked the child on the buttocks. Any unwanted touching or contact with another person, and they were in care of that child, and in our determination, it met the threshold of an assault.
Turnover today at the London Police Services Board, swearing in a new member while another steps away. As Jerry Dewan reports, that will still leave an empty seat at the table and questions over who should fill it.
The day started with a swearing-in ceremony for Mike Wallace.
I will, to the best of my ability, discharge my duties as the member of the London Police Service Board.
Wallace is a familiar face at London City Hall, principally in his role advocating for developers as executive director of the London Development Institute. He's also been part of the committee advancing London's whole of community response to health and homelessness. He sees a synergy between his work life and the roles he's taken on in the community.
Building a better London is more than just the housing. It's the quality of life that the people who move to our community will experience, and a major function of that is how safe they are, and the police play a vital role in making that happen.
The 7-member board is made up of 3 people appointed by the province, the mayor, 2 council members, and a representative appointed by council. Wallace was appointed by the province, and as he was joining the board, it was announced that pediatric dentist Dr. Haley Faulkner, also a provincial appointee, was leaving. And on this day, the board heard from members of the human resources team with an emphasis on diversity efforts, which stands in contrast to the all-white board.
The force is becoming more reflective of the City of London, and I think with organizations of this size, you can struggle to try to make the board as diverse as possible, but you'll never be diverse as a large city like London. You can certainly make the organizations reflective of the city. Morgan and board chair Ryan Goss, who is the council appointee, point to diversity in the police services leadership team, including Chief Ty Trong and Deputy Chief Trina McSween, who is the highest-ranking black female service member in the country. Goss also says the board puts a premium on listening to diverse voices.
This board will stop at nothing to make sure that those opinions are heard, that there are opportunities, whether it be through our strategic plan, whether it be through continuous community consultation, whether it be with consulting with different diverse groups in our community. There's always channels to make sure that communication happens.
Former Chair Susan Toth resigned in January of 2023, and at that time she lamented the lack of diversity on the 7-member board. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Provincial government officials say they want to force defendants to pay cash security deposits or otherwise be denied bail.
We're coming forward again with bold, innovative, and practical solutions to enhance our public safety. And the reason is obvious. Our government has never stopped in believing that our inherent right to live safely in our own homes and communities is the guiding principle that drives our actions every day to protect Ontario.
The new rules would keep repeat offenders behind bars, and they claim overall bail compliance would improve. It's getting high-up support from police in Toronto as well.
These additional measures announced today to improve bail compliance and keep repeat violent offenders in custody will make our communities safer. These initiatives are essential to protect the public and prevent crime, restore public trust in the justice system, and support police officers who see firsthand the harm caused to victims by violent criminals.
The legislation is expected to be tabled tomorrow. Local critics are coming forward calling out the provincial government's new education bill, which received royal assent last week. They say it gives those politicians too much power over local education decisions. With more, here's Rita Ismail.
It's a bill that will reshape how Ontario school boards operate, centralizing several powers under the education minister. And for some trustees, that's a major concern.
Once we start chipping away at powers like that and centralizing them, then that's very dangerous for our school system, because we know that students do best when their parents and their communities are involved in their education.
Despite the pending dissolution of the Thames Valley District School Board this spring, trustee Marianne Larson says their work advocating for public education will continue.
I see this as losing a battle, but we need to, so to speak, win the war, and that is to preserve elected school boards.
Larson says school boards have been part of this province for more than 2 centuries.
In Ontario, we have had elected school boards since 1816. That is even before we had a country called Canada. They're their oldest form of democracy. And the idea behind them is that you want people who are from the local community, who understand the local community, and are elected by the local community to run your schools and to support students in their learning.
Bill 33 has drawn protests from critics who argue it makes the system less democratic and less responsive to communities. The government says it's about ensuring boards stay focused on their responsibilities.
Bill 33 is all about putting school boards back on track that fall off the rails.
But not all trustees agree. In a statement to CTV News, London District Catholic School Board Chair Gabe Pizzuti says Bill 33 would lead to closed-door meetings, reduced transparency, and less access for families. Among the changes included in Bill 33, the minister can now order investigations more easily and take control of a board if it fails to comply. New provincial oversight of board finances, and mandatory public posting of certain expenses, a requirement for boards to work with local police service and allow school resource officer programs, and new rules around school naming. Boards must get ministerial approval. Bill 33 is now in force, with some provisions set to roll out over the coming months. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
A barn near Park Hill went up in flames this weekend, destroying the structure and killing livestock trapped inside. As Sean Irvin reports, it's the second barn fire in the area in just over a month.
Smoke rises from the remains of a hog barn destroyed in a weekend fire southwest of Park Hill. The blaze on Elginfield Road broke out shortly before 4 a.m. Sunday morning. The daughter-in-law of the property owner was among the first to rush to the scene, taking this photograph.
It was an absolute crazy amount of smoke going directly towards the house and directly towards town.
North Middlesex Fire Chief Greg Vanden Heuvel tells CTV News that crews from 4 area departments worked defensively to control the blaze. Their greatest challenge was preventing its spread to 2 nearby buildings.
There was a fuel sources that were very close to the building. The fire departments did an absolutely amazing job. They took care of the property, they took care of the fire, and they took care of us, we cannot thank them enough. They did an amazing job.
Although 6 pigs perished in this blaze, the loss could have been far greater. A delivery of animals was scheduled for this week. When combined with livestock sheltered in another barn, the potential loss might have been worse.
A lot of firefighters that worked so diligently, and with the other buildings being close, we saved all we could.
This is the second pig barn fire in this area in just over a month. On October 22nd, an estimated 3,000 pigs died in a blaze on Elm Tree Drive. A damage estimate and cause for Sunday's fire have yet to be determined. The blaze is not considered suspicious. Near Park Hill, Sean Irvin, CTV News. A garage fire forced residents from their home in North London this afternoon. Fire crews were called around 3:30 p.m. for this fire on Bryan Avenue. They say the heat and flames damaged the second floor and filled the attic with smoke. There are no reported injuries, and fire officials say the cause is under investigation.
There's extensive damage to the garage and rear of the house. We had to open up the roof line, and there's extensive smoke damage throughout the residence as well.
A celebration of life was held this weekend in St. Thomas for a 17-year-old girl who was killed in a car crash earlier this month. Brent Lale has more on how her loved ones will remember her.
Thank you for bringing us all here to celebrate the life of our granddaughter, Hadley Dennison.
It was a quirky service for a quirky young woman, singing and dancing to her favorite songs.
As in her 17 years of life, she lived 100, remaining unapologetically herself, not caring what others thought, standing up for herself and others while still laughing throughout the whole thing.
It was a celebration, but not without sadness and grief.
This is not how it was supposed to be. A young, vibrant woman with so much promise, so much joy, so much love, gone in a moment.
The 17-year-old was killed after a sedan she was riding in collided with a grain truck just east of St. Thomas. She fought in hospital for a few days before the aftermath of the crash took her life.
But Hadley wasn't only full of life, she was full of love. She deeply cared about others.
Dave and Jody Woods spoke about how Hadley befriended their autistic son.
The impact she had on our family will never be forgotten.
And her influence on others was on display when dozens of her mother's co-workers from LHSC took the stage. Hadley had chosen to become an organ donor.
When it became clear what Hadley's final gift would be, Heather's healthcare family prepared for a hero's walk. A moment to honor Hadley's life and the lives she was about to save.
Anything ever happens to me, I want someone else to have the opportunity to have life. This reveals her heart, which was shaped by compassion, by generosity and grace.
Now we will miss the 7:30 text. Can I get a ride to school? Sorry for the short notice. Are you going to church on Sunday? Can I come too?
A beautiful soul full of life and sheer determination to keep on moving through any situation. She will always remain my guiding light in times of trouble.
A kind soul who was always thinking of others, and a young woman a community will never forget.
And I love you guys so much, and I miss you guys so much. I keep you guys close in my heart. So, yeah.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
Still to come, chaos at Queen's Park. The provincial government hearing it from the public gallery over new housing legislation. Canada's main stock index was up today on strength in the technology sector. The TSX gained 444 points. In New York, the Dow added 203, the Nasdaq up 599. The Canadian dollar fell 0.04 cents. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $15 an ounce. Oil is up 78 cents a barrel. Shouts of shame at Queen's Park today. Members of the public called out the provincial government as a controversial housing bill passed. With more on Bill 60 and the backlash it faces, here's Siobhan Morris.
An eruption of anger inside the Ontario legislature, with screams raining down on politicians from the galleries above as they voted on Bill 60, legislation that includes controversial changes for renters.
You're putting people on the streets!
From his seat, the Premier yelled back for that demonstrator to get a job.
It's totally unbecoming of the office of the Premier.
The man on the receiving end agrees.
Doug Ford hasn't had to go looking for a job in a while. He has no clue the difficulties that people are facing.
The legislature in such a state of chaos, security ordered the public out on a bill that skipped committee hearings.
People's voices do need to be heard.
Worried more renters will lose their homes.
Well, I heard it in the House today for sure, but I don't agree with it because we're creating balance in the landlord-tenant system.
The bill shortens the grace period for a tenant who missed rent before they can be evicted.
We're talking about big property managers who are getting rich off of these schemes, and they're the ones who are going to profit.
But small-scale landlords insist they need help.
I've had landlords call me crying because of a tenant that has not only did not pay rent for months and knows how to avoid the eviction, they also damaged the property.
Opposition parties say this bill does nothing to solve serious problems between landlords and tenants.
All it does is it points the finger at every single renter and tenant, of whom the vast majority are acting in good faith.
Frustration and fear that exploded into the open.
I understand why people are upset because they're desperate because they can't afford to live in Doug Ford's Ontario.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Good evening. A mild day followed by warm temperatures overnight will hold above the freezing mark. Heading out the door tomorrow morning. Sheen, if you're heading out for a walk with a sunny, expect cloudy conditions and a chance for rain moving in. First thing in the morning, about a 40% chance of showers, but first thing in the morning, 4 to 5 degrees with a southerly wind. Coming up, I'll take you through your local weather details. A wild week of weather on the way with some mild days followed by a cold blast of air, potential for some snow squalls. I'll get down to it coming up in just a few minutes.
Welcome back on the desk with Julie now, and as we look ahead through the rest of the week, it sounds like you might be busy over the next couple of days because it's not just forecasting for London, because it's a very different story in other parts of our region.
Yeah, we could have a multi-day snow squall event set up in through Midwestern Ontario. Wednesday night, everything's going to change. Carlyle, cold front will come through with a blast of cold air, gusty winds, and winds aligning off Lake Huron will generate lake effect snow. Now, our high today in London, mild at 9 degrees, normally 5. We're going to double that for tomorrow, with a forecast high coming in at +10. Satellite radar, so lots to talk about and show you tonight. So we have high pressure on the east coast. We have a low pressure area down towards Kansas, another one in and around Iowa developing. So this moisture will be pulling into southern Ontario tomorrow. So we have this low near James Bay. It's an interesting forecast because as this low cruises that way, it'll start to pull this colder air towards southern Ontario. This has prompted a winter storm watch in northern Ontario. So watching that for the potential for some heavy snow as another area of low pressure cruises through the prairies. Now, as this starts to come in, it draws this warm, moist air towards the region. With that, we will have some showers in the forecast for your Tuesday. So you can see the winter storm watch, the areas that are impacted, as well as parts of Quebec. So dealing with some wicked weather and some winter-like conditions. Overnight lows, not typical for this time of year. Above freezing. In London, we'll bottom out at about 4 degrees. That's where we'll start the day with cloudy conditions, and then the chance for some light rainfall moving in. The probability of showers will start to go up in the afternoon, so we'll go from about a 40% chance early in the day to about an 80% chance in the afternoon. So expecting some light rainfall heading out the door. Just be prepared. You may encounter a little bit of rain, especially if you're a morning walker. You may need to grab your umbrella. We'll have another round of light rainfall come through on Wednesday. This is ahead of the cold front. Now, by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, that's where things really start to shift, and that's when that cold air starts to come in. So with that shift and that cold front, the winds will start to kick around from the west-northwest, and that will usher in that colder air. So we'll get to that. 10 degrees, your forecast high for tomorrow, with showers, winds out of the south through the day, and then another mild day Wednesday. Now, this 10 degrees will likely be reached in the morning. By the afternoon, we'll start to see a steady drop in temperatures. So falling temperatures by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, which will transition us from rainfall to flurries. And then heading into Thursday, look at the temperature drop. We go from 10 to 0. That's a big change. So flurries in the forecast, gusty winds Thursday into Friday, although the probabilities in London are just 30%. Why is that? Well, the winds aren't going to align into the northwest for very long. So that means that we won't see snow squalls off of Lake Huron. But where you will see snow squalls is in through parts of northern Huron, Perth, and Grey and Bruce County. And this could really be a multi-day snow squall event for you. Daytime highs heading into the weekend from -2 to +2, and we'll hit 1 degree on Monday with a chance of flurries. Midwestern Ontario, you have showers and mild temperatures over the next couple of days, and then you get into your flurries and snow squalls. So this could mean some heavy accumulation. This could be some very high impact weather. So if you have travel plans, especially Grey Bruce this weekend, or rather Thursday into Friday to kick off the weekend, snow squalls are expected to be dominating across your area with that flow off the lake. Saturday, flurries and squalls linger into Sunday as well. Now, we could see a bit of mixed precipitation with daytime highs hovering between 1 to 2 degrees. So an interesting forecast. Please plan accordingly as we head through the week. We will see snow squalls develop with gusty winds, but we have a couple mild days on the way with some showers in the forecast as we head into Tuesday. Carlyle, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. A Huron County farmer is getting ready for a national political debate this week. Tony McQuail is running for the federal NDP leadership, taking the stage with his fellow candidates in Montreal this Thursday. With more on his political prospects, here's Scott Miller.
I think it's pretty fair to say that Tony McQuail is the only NDP leadership hopeful spending his debate preparation hauling hay behind two horses.
I'm trying to get enough hay out that I can leave the cattle on the winter pasture while I'm away, and they'll have their feed, and I'll be in Montreal trying to put forward some ideas.
McQuail is one of 5 candidates who want to lead the federal NDP party. The first official debate takes place this Thursday in Montreal and will be held mostly in French, which admittedly is not McQuail's strong suit.
In Montreal, I'll be talking un peu français, a little French.
McQuail's strong suit is walking the walk. For 45 years, he's been a regenerative farmer near Lucknow, using mostly horses instead of gas-powered tractors to work his land.
I think we need to be talking seriously about degrowth, how we share the wealth we already have in ways that help us build our communities. And I'd like to see a program that works with nature clubs and environmental groups and pollution cleanup and municipal councils to fix the things in their neighborhood that start regenerating what we need to do to heal the planet, the damage that we've already done.
McQuail has run for the NDP 7 times over the past 45 years, 5 federally and twice provincially. He's never won, and he knows he is in tough in this race as well. Although he's short nearly $30,000 in required funds to stay in the race, he's directed supporters to help push Tennille Johnston, a BC social worker, over the fundraising threshold by November 30th before restarting his fundraising.
We got to make sure that at least one of us gets into the race, and I'd like it to be her if it's not going to be me.
There is a final fundraising push on deadline day, November 30th, he says, but even if his bid falls short, McQuail says he'll give it his all on Thursday with a national audience watching. Near Lucknow, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Welcome back. A community gathering in northwest London this weekend for the annual Hyde Park Santa Claus Parade.
It started many years ago on a shoestring budget, in fact, no budget, and over the years it's grown. We have some huge sponsors, huge support. Money that is raised through the parade does go back to nonprofits in need or charitable organizations to help people in need during the Christmas season.
Thousands of people lined Gainsborough Road Saturday to take in the festivities. Organizers say there were more than 50 parade entries this year. Part of the event is also about collecting cash and food donations supporting the local food bank.
The food bank plays such an important role in our community, and of course it's from the generosity of people who donate at events like this, which really helps them keep stocked and helps people through the holiday season.
Organizers say this year they were able to contribute more than 2,400 pounds of supplies to the food bank. And finally tonight, a historic win for a local high school football team, capturing back-to-back OFSA titles.
Just amazing. We've been here, like grade 13's here for 5 years. Last 2 years just dominant. 25-0, best defense in the country. Feels amazing.
The CCH Crusaders shut out their opponents from Hamilton 25-0 in Guelph this afternoon. They were ranked the #1 team in the province by high school coaches, becoming the first London team in 20 years to win consecutive championships.
Our teacher coaches, our volunteer coaches, so many alumni who come back to support our school and what we do here in sports, that makes it possible and really gives our student athletes the best experience.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.